It's time for another Allied Rivals, ladies and gentlemen. You already know we're back, this time with some early NBA expectations. Preseason's going to be ending soon, and the season's coming, which I cannot believe. But we're just going to cover a couple teams, try to keep this one to a shorter episode. Leave some comments. Let us know what you think is going to happen.
Here we go. It's going to be a good episode. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Allied Rivals. Wait, where's AJ? Oh, shoot. Where are you? AJ, can you say something?
My internet?
Internet? Okay. This is weird. AJ, I don't know. Wait, what?
Because I'm right here!
What?
Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, the Allied Rivals' first ever in-person episode. Let's go. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, it's so good to have you here.
Yeah, definitely.
Very exciting.
From the undisclosed location,
It's
base,
undisclosed.
Area 51, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But NBA preseason's coming up.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about some of the main teams that are NBA Finals frontrunners, and that's just going to get us started. Caedmon,
Yeah.
it's good to do this in person finally.
Definitely is. It's
All
been
right.
so long.
Yeah, it is. We've been doing this podcast for a while,
Yeah,
honestly.
maybe like 4 months, I
Something
think.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and our subscriber base, thank you guys so much for everyone
Yeah.
for subscribing. Be sure if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. And as always, be sure to go ahead and check out our Allied Shorts playlist on the main page. Plus, be sure to check out, we don't shout this out enough, but Caedmon and his family have a YouTube channel called The Bauer Band. You
Yes,
should
sir.
definitely go ahead and subscribe to them. They're
Yeah.
getting pretty high up there in subscribers, ain't you?
Yeah, and pretty high in views too.
Nice. Let's
Yeah.
go. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, you got to check out Roto Hackers.
Yes, sir.
Fantasy football stuff.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So hopefully you're making the playoffs and might be able to give you some good tips.
Yeah,
so check out
championship
Roto
week.
Hackers.
Yep, and we'll
One
be live
word.
tonight. We'll be
Live
live
tonight.
tonight as well. Yeah,
All right,
about
guys.
8:30 Central Time,
All right.
9:30 Eastern Time. So
All
be sure to
right.
check that out. But Caedmon, it is time
It's
to
time.
talk about the NBA. Do you want to go ahead and do your team first? Do you want to go ahead and talk about them first?
Sure. Why not?
Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks first. Caedmon, this is your team.
Mm-hmm.
You lost some players this year. You didn't get Bogdan, but you still got Giannis.
Yep.
You still got Chris, and you got Drew Holiday.
Woo.
How you feeling? I mean, it's preseason. They haven't won yet, but it's preseason, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But how you feeling about your team in
Yeah.
Milwaukee?
I'm excited because I've definitely seen a connection between Drew Holiday and Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
But then Chris Middleton, he's also just always a key factor in
Yep.
the offense, especially. Really love to see what can come out. I think we're going to be a really good team. They played the bench a lot in the
Mm.
preseason games, which I really like to see. I think we may have some players that probably weren't as good as George Hill, but
Mhm.
they could become like a George Hill or guys like that. So
Very nice.
looking forward to that kind of stuff.
And in the comment section, we already got our resident Hoosiers fan, if I remember correctly, Porter Drinks. What is up, my guys? What's up, Porter? How you doing? If you follow the NBA, let us know what's your favorite team as well, and we'll talk about them for a minute as well. Hope you're doing, man. Hope you're doing well, my dude. Yeah, I think the Milwaukee Bucks are definitely one of the most talented teams out there. Absolutely. I do like that they're using their bench more in preseason games, because that was my biggest concern for them last year, was that they had a great front lineup. But
Mhm.
once you started getting down to the bench, it started to get a little bit iffy down
Yeah.
there. But now they're actually putting the people on the bench, getting them playing time in the
Yep.
preseason, so they're ready for the season. I'm a little bit concerned with the loss of Eric Bledsoe as well this
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
But
veteran
yeah,
presence.
Drew Holiday is a great passer. He's a great shooter.
Yep.
He should be a good part of their offense. I'm very excited to see what the Bucks do. Lightning Bauer saying together at last. Yes, sir. It has been too long. And Porter Drinks coming up with, where's that bowl game episode yet? We'll absolutely get in a bowl game episode for sure. It was a fun championship weekend. And plus, this Sunday is the selection show for the CFP. And I mean,
We're going to have to talk about
we're
that.
going to have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Is it probably going to be Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, Notre Dame?
I think so.
Probably,
Yeah.
but still, it's going to be fun to talk about once we finally see the bowl schedule. Caedmon, let's talk about a Western team. How about the Clippers?
The Clippers.
This
yeah.
is a weird team. New coach,
New coach.
completely went out to the singing Nuggets, I think it was last year.
Yep.
They had a rough end of the season. And with a team with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they're really wanting to come back this next year.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, two of the best in the NBA. And even though Paul George didn't have a great year last year, especially at the end in the playoffs, he started to show what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And so I'm actually, they're probably going to need some time to really get it together, like most teams will, unless you're the White Sox. But this is not baseball. And so, I think we're going to have a pretty good Clippers team, despite the new coach and everything.
I think you're right. It's going to take them a little bit to get going. I don't know if they'll end up being a 2 seed again. I can see them hitting a 3 seed, especially if the Jazz and the Nuggets keep playing like they did in the playoffs last year.
Yep.
But this is a team I think that needs to really work on consistency. When they hit their highs last year, nobody could beat them. But they had so many lows. Kawhi Leonard struggled at times in playoffs. Paul George was completely hit or miss when it came down to crunch time. It is going to have to be all about consistency for the Los Angeles Clippers if they want to take down the Lakers in the West this year, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of their bench is still there. And that was a big part of the Clippers last year.
Yep.
And besides the Lakers, their bench really did like way more than any other bench.
Yep.
And so if they can keep that going, they should have a really solid team.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Let's move back to the Eastern Conference. Caedmon, who do you want to talk about here?
Let's talk about your Bulls, AJ.
We really have to.
Yeah, let's talk about your Bulls. Let's do it.
I'm not excited for our outlook. We are in rebuild mode. Okay, look, we've got great young pieces. Yep. Kobe White's been looking good in the preseason. Mark Cannon is still a very good shooter. Zach LaVine is
a one-man
literally carrying the team on his back. I was kind of mad because I think he was definitely an all-star snub last year. But I mean, he was playing on a team that finished bottom 3 in the East of all places.
Yep.
I mean,
is it going to be better than last year?
I think it will be better than last year. We're going to have a little bit of chemistry here. I like that. I liked our draft. I thought we did a decent job there. But yeah, the Bulls just have not been the same in years, and I don't think it's going to start now, especially when you've got a whole bunch of other teams coming up and trying to make a run at it. You're going to see the Heat making a run at it this year. You're going to see the Nets making a run at it this year. I don't see it. I mean, there's a chance we slip into the 8th seed just because any team can make it to the 8th seed because this is the East. I mean, that's basically up for grabs. It's basically it's a consolation prize. You do well enough, you get to lose to the Bucks in the first round, right? But honestly, I'm not excited for this next year. But I think we're in rebuild mode. It's going to take a while. Porter Drinks brings up J.R. Smith for MVP. I can't believe, didn't he come back to the Lakers last year and then left in this offseason?
What's with J.R. Smith?
Oh, my goodness. He's definitely one of the best three-point shooters, though, of the past 5 years.
No question.
For sure. Absolutely. Caedmon, what do you think about the Bulls, though? What do you think about my woefully bad team since Derrick Rose left?
I mean, they're definitely they're definitely still in rebuild mode.
Yeah.
But I think you said their chemistry's probably been getting going. I think they're definitely going to be a better team.
Yeah.
Just because they've had time to build their bench a little more. Yeah. Maybe create a little bit more around Zach LaVine. So I think you're going to see a slightly better team than last year. I wouldn't expect any miracles.
Yeah, no, I'm not expecting that. And the thing that I think disappointed me most, the Bulls did absolutely nothing in the offseason, which I guess makes sense. They don't have the pieces to be able to trade for big players. They had one high draft pick, but they need that to build into the future. And at this point, not many people want to come to Chicago anyway. So, I get it, but it is definitely disappointing to see the Bulls wallowing in the bottom of the East. But let's talk about a different team, Western Conference, Golden State Warriors. Last year was a year of adversity for them. They came back, got themselves a high draft pick, got James Wiseman out of Memphis in the draft. Steph Curry is back, and his hair looks not normal, but Klay Thompson's gone.
Yeah.
What are you expecting from the Warriors this year?
Maybe some more threes by Steph Curry.
Yeah, probably. I think he's gonna have to do a lot more load carrying this year.
I think so. I think they just lost one of the biggest pieces of their team. And I mean, he carried the team a lot when Steph Curry's injured.
Yeah. And
now, say Steph Curry gets injured, you don't really have a team. And so this is all on Steph Curry right now, in my opinion. They have pieces that Steph Curry can work with, of course, but they don't have Klay Thompson and another another stud like him. So I don't know.
Yeah, the Warriors, everybody was predicting at the beginning of the year, even back to last season, once everybody saw they were tanking, they're like, oh, they're going to get a high draft pick. They're going to trade for Giannis or Luka or Kyrie or something like that.
And what happened?
They drafted. They actually drafted. I was surprised. They got James Wiseman, so he's a good young player. But I think the Warriors are going to wait another 2 years before they start to make another championship run. They're going to be a good team. Steph Curry is good. They're a well-coached team. Steph Curry is a great coach. And but the West is a very tough conference. And with the depth of the Jazz, the front line of the Nets, the Clippers still coming back, and of course the Lakers, and even Greg Popovich with the decimated Spurs team for the last 7 years still can take games from any team out there. And the Rockets still have Harden. I mean, they lost Westbrook to Washington, which I will never get used to Russell Westbrook in a Wizards jersey.
Nope.
But still, I just don't. The Warriors, I think, are going to take another year or two to rebuild. They had a young core last year. They're going to have another young core again, but they're another year of experience. And losing Klay Thompson, who's one of the best defensive players out there and one of the best three-point shooters out there, I don't see them making a deep run. I can see them being a playoff team because they're still good, but I don't see them getting very far.
Yeah, and like you said, they're in a hard division. So there's more you have to worry about. You're not in no NFC East in football.
That's the truth. There you go.
Yeah, so I think the Warriors are definitely going to be better than last year.
Yeah.
But I don't see them making if they make it to the playoffs, them making it past the first second round.
Yeah, same. Real quick before we get to our last one, maybe let's talk about two East teams.
Two East teams.
We got two. We got the Heat and we got the Nets. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's go with the Nets. They've changed a lot. Take it, AJ.
They have new jerseys, new court, all new, all different Nets. Kyrie is healthy. DeAndre is healthy. KD is healthy. This is a stacked front line.
It's going to be crazy.
They're going to be a good team for sure. If they can keep everybody healthy. Durant has had a year to train, to get healthy, to get back in the game. He's getting warmed up in preseason. Kyrie Irving is probably the best ball handler in the NBA.
Yeah,
Durant, great post-up shooter and one of the best defenders when it comes to the inside. They're going to be a very good team. It's going to be very competitive once they get to the top of the East, I think. I think the Raptors are still going to do well. I don't see them falling off. Of course, you've got the Milwaukee Bucks. But the Nets have a great front lineup, and it's lined with studs, and especially in an East where you can roll over half of the teams there to get a bunch of wins. I think they're going to be very competitive. It wouldn't surprise me to see them making a deep playoff run early in the season. They've been looking good in the preseason to start, and I know we talked about preseason isn't that important, but when a guy hasn't played for a year and Kevin Durant's coming back and actually shooting the ball, that's already improvement.
Yep. And they have a solid bench.
Yes, they do.
It's not a Clippers bench.
Nope.
But it's still a good bench. And if their starters, if say KD gets injured, it's going to be a problem. But they'll be able to solve it, I think, with their bench.
Yep.
So Nets could be a really scary team this year.
Yep. And the other team we want to talk about, the Miami Heat, your Eastern Conference champions, shocked the world. Jimmy Butler. I thought they did a good job in the offseason. They lost Bogdan, which is going to hurt, but they re-signed Bam. Jimmy's still there. They re-signed Goran. This is a team that still has its core back, and now they're healthy. What are you expecting out of the Heat, who came out of nowhere and played spoiler last year for literally everybody except the Lakers?
I mean, Bam and Jimmy Butler, they can carry a team, and we saw that. Even when Bam was injured, Jimmy carried the team for a long enough till Bam got back, and he can just score crazy. I'm talking about Jimmy Butler. He plays good defense as well. He's good off the glass. I mean, if he plays like he did last year, maybe just a little better, he could be an MVP contender.
I think so, yeah.
And I mean, he's probably not quite as good as Giannis typically in like average scoring and rebounding, but he's up there in the assists, really good with Bam. And I mean, he just has a team to work with him. So this is not Zach LaVine with the Bulls.
Eric Spoelstra has gotten a great team together. He is a great coach. They play very well together. When they work together and they're healthy, they're a well-oiled machine. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see Goran at the end of the playoffs because I think it could have gone to Game 7 against the Lakers if Goran was healthy in the finals. That's my hot take. He could drop 20, 30 points on you at any time. That's a big piece of their team missing. Bam, to me, is like almost like little Giannis. I'm going to be honest.
Really?
He can rebound. He's one of the best defenders out there. He had some of the greatest blocks in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
He is a big piece. There's a reason they signed him.
For sure.
I think the Heat are going to make a good run, but they need everyone to stay healthy. This isn't one of the teams like the Clippers or the Lakers that can lose a man and still have a 6-man to go up on him. I think they really need to stay healthy the entire year because while their depth is good, they lost Bogdan, they lost Jay Crowder, and those were two important pieces on their bench. So
sure.
I'm a little bit concerned, but this is still a scrappy, very impressive, very fun NBA team to watch. Yep. Last one, our current NBA champions, the LA Lakers, who kind of steamrolled through everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look like they were trying to me in the playoffs. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, preseason doesn't tell me a ton, but they just like winning, and so they weren't going to give up preseason games. That's all that I'll say about the Lakers. I mean, they still have a lot of guys, and they brought a lot of guys over the offseason.
Yeah.
They could be like last year.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Lakers right now are my NBA Finals front runner. Just in general, I think if I had to choose like who I thought was gonna be today, I'd say it was them to win the NBA Finals. They have their core lineup still. They re-signed Anthony Davis.
Yep.
And then they got Dennis Schroeder. Rajon headed off to Atlanta.
They made some.
Dennis Schroeder. No disrespect to Montrezl Harrell. He's a great player, but Dennis was my 6th man of the year, and now he's playing in LA. Yeah, it's preseason, but their team's got so much depth. Their bench can beat a lot of team starters. They had a great offseason. I thought they did the best amount of trading. I thought they did the best amount of work of signing people in free agency. They're my front runner, Caedmon. This is a team that plays great defense, great offense, and they've got stupid amounts of depth.
I think they're my front runners too right now because they were the best team last year, and we saw that. But they just made more moves over the offseason. They kind of took advantage of some teams, or at least it looks that way. But they're just really well coached. They have a lot of talent. And
they have LeBron
with AJ, and they have LeBron and AD.
Yep, exactly. Nicole Sawyer in the comment section says, "What's going on? Good to see you, Nicole. Good to have you in the comment section." Says, "Which LA?" We're talking about the Lakers right now. Lightning Bow. Let us know if you have any questions about any players or teams because we'd love to cover them while we're here. Lightning Bauer, for new listeners, of which I am not, trying to learn about the NBA for the first time, where would you tell them to get started? NBA.com. Honestly, NBA.com, Wikipedia. I mean, that's the main thing I think for me. That's where you get the teams. Is where you get your main players, leading scorers. NBA.com. That's my main thing.
Yeah, I think also the ESPN Sports app and Yahoo Sports app give you a lot of stats real fast. So
very true. Very true. Very true. Well, it doesn't look like right this second we have any other questions. Caedmon, before we wrap up, anything else you want to say? Oh, Lightning Bauer, real quick, bringing in a comment. He thinks the Heat are the contenders this year. That's interesting.
Interesting.
If they're healthy, I could see that. I could see that if they're healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just they've lost pieces over the offseason, like Jay Crowder, like we said, and I think that's gonna hurt them. But they've definitely had time to build, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know with them.
Yep.
It could be great.
Yep. Dove's drummer boy. Been a minute. Good to see you with us. Says,
sir.
What's up? Good to have you back in the comment section as usual. Nicole Sawyer says, that's my team. Oh, we got a Lakers fan in here. Let's go. What do you if Brandon Ingram goes back to the Lakers? I don't think Ingram's going back to the Lakers.
No, I don't think so.
There's no chance. LeBron traded him and Lonzo out to New Orleans so they could be able to get the cap space to sign AD. And Ingram just signed a massive contract with the New Orleans Pelicans. Even if the Lakers wanted him back, I don't think they could. Nope. And I don't think Brandon wants back with the Lakers after what happened.
Yeah.
And now you've got a young core in New Orleans. Had a great offseason. They got Steven Adams. You still have Zion. You've got Zion. You've got Lonzo. And you've got Brandon Ingram. This is a team we didn't talk about, but this is a team that could shock the world.
Yeah, and just this, basically the two main points I was thinking, he kind of said it, but is Ingram does not want to go there, and the Lakers don't need him.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's not been a ton of communication between them. So I don't see him going anywhere, or I don't see him leaving the Pelicans, honestly.
Yeah, I think the Pelicans could be a team that could shock a lot of people this year with their depth. And Nicole Sawyer saying, yeah, Brandon was doing real well in New Orleans. He took a large leap this past year. He took a large step in his development this year. So very impressive. Good to see him doing well. That looks like all of the comments that we have for now. Caedmon, anything else you want to say about the NBA for us?
I'll just say this. We talked about them before, but I'm really excited about the Nets. Or maybe I shouldn't be because they could take the Bucks. But hey, I'm glad I'm not a Bulls fan. I'll live with that.
Yep. Hey, remind me, how many NBA finals do you have?
I forget.
Yeah, okay.
Off topic. But ladies and gentlemen,
that's going to do it.
We're here.
Yeah.
And this is the Allied Rivals.
Yep. First time in person. Let us know if you want us to do more of this, more episodes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Porter Drinks, Lightning Bauer, Nicole Sawyer. Good to see you. Our Lakers fan, Dubs Drummer Boy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll definitely be coming back with some more. Nicole Sawyer also asked, what about Golden State? We did talk about them a little bit earlier, so you can go and watch that. Yeah. You want to go rewatch it. But really quick, we thought they could be good, but losing Klay Thompson's really going to hurt him.
Yep.
Yep. But Steph Curry, still one of the best three-point shooters. Steve Kerr, great coach. They're a young team, but they're going to struggle in a tough Western Conference.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for us, I think. Caedmon, you want to hit us with our Bible verse of the week?
Yes, sir. Deuteronomy 31:6. You can see it on the screen. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them. For it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you.
That's my favorite Bible verse right there. That's what we're talking about. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another Allied Rivals. Eric Tully coming in at the last minute says, go Bucks. Go Bucks. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if this is Tampa or Milwaukee. I want to say Milwaukee, but there's no K.
It's Milwaukee.
It's Milwaukee? We're taking it as Milwaukee. Okay.
For sure.
Eric Tully, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, you made Caedmon a happy man today as well. Be sure to go back and watch the replay if you haven't of our last episode, this episode, and all of our previous ones. Check out some Allied Rivals stuff, some more Allied shorts. And there we go. The
Milwaukee, of course. There we go.
Milwaukee fan. There we go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to leave a comment and let us know what you guys think about the future of the NBA. And also, what other videos do you want us to do it on? We're going to have college football coming up. Of course, NBA and the NFL playoffs are coming up soon. So we have a lot of stuff coming up. So you definitely want to be subscribed with notifications on. But I don't need to tell you guys that because you guys have been on YouTube before. Caedmon, unless you've got anything else, I think it's time to say sayonara.
I think I'm all good, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the one and only Allied Rivals podcast in person. We will see you guys next time, whether it's morning, noon, or night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Hope you're having a good one.
See ya.